Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Radiant Moon Tarot. My name's Victoria, and we are here with your weekly look ahead for July 13th through the 19th of 2026. So this week, we do start out very much in the warm, beautiful embrace of the new moon in the sign of Cancer. The moon rules the sign of Cancer and therefore is very much at home here. There's no battling of energies. We can just sink into this energy and embrace it just like it wants to envelop us. A new moon, of course, is a great time for new beginnings, to set some intentions, to set some new goals, usually to get out of your comfort zone. And Cancerian energy is kind of a little bit about where we are comfortable or where we feel safe and secure. So our house, our home, even who we live with, because this can be about your relationships, your family, your children, even your ancestors here. This moon does carry with it a nice healing element with it as well. So do check out my new moon in Cancer reading. I'll put the link to the video down below. We go through all of the energy and then also pull cards for each sign. Watch your sun, moon, and rising as always. Next up this week, we've got probably one of the most positive planetary alignments of the year, with so much potential, doors opening. We've got to embrace the energy and put some effort into it, right? It's like nothing's probably going to happen unless we do something and take some steps, but the door of opportunity is beautiful. And this is on Wednesday, and a very, very, very rare sextile between Uranus and Neptune. It's like putting your expansive consciousness on overdrive. You can gain some enlightenment here and potentially, really open up your door to a spiritual rebirth. So it can be really wonderful. Will this all happen in a day? No. The energy leads up to it, right? And then the energy dissipates. So it's like a longer transit, but this is the peak of that energy. Uranus, of course, is known, it can be a destructor of things, right? Breaking things down, but to bring us freedom and to awaken us. But Uranus is the great awakener, opening us up to ourselves, to our emotion, to spirit, to the truth, right? To a lot of things, but ultimately brings us freedom to grow and to move forward. So it can be a very uncomfortable energy with Uranus sometimes, but also a very beautiful one. And of course, Neptune energy. Neptune, sometimes we get in a fog, we get confused. So you may get some clarity somewhere this week. You may step into the truth of something this week. But Neptune is all about your dreams. It can be about about your spirituality, your spiritual growth. So pay attention to your dreams this week as well. You may have already been having some really loopy ones. I have for the past 2-3 weeks, and they're just like totally out there. So now I need to dig into some deeper meanings of them, but they're interesting anyway. Uranus and Neptune. Uranus can bring about shocks and surprises. Neptune can very specifically be about waterways, or water, anything liquid, oil, gas, this kind of thing. Uranus, again, can kind of shake things up a little bit. It can bring freedom. So who knows, maybe there may be something that brings some potential on a global scale to give us all a little bit of relief. But Uranus wild card energy, so we don't always know what it's gonna bring, what's gonna happen. But the rest of this week, this is, starting with the new moon. If you watch your July monthly readings here, we do look at it a little bit, is that, starting at the new moon here and over the next week and a half or so, right up until the sun moves into Leo on the 22nd, this is a very, very rare time astrologically. So there's some beautiful astrology, beautiful connections going on. It's basically involving the outer planets, all the outer planets. And, of course, they're all in new signs. So it's very new, very uncharted territory is what we're dealing with here. But we've got Jupiter, we've got Pluto, we've got Uranus, we've got Neptune, we've got Saturn in the mix there somewhere, I forget where. So the next week is right up until the 22nd, and it's going to carry on after that as well. But this is where the potency is. So kind of sink into some of this energy, stay open, stay receptive, get grounded, connect with nature, because, we do have the possibility of floating away somewhere. But the 20th is very, very specifically a day to look at. And of course, that's out of this week. It's into next week, but all this energy flows together. So let's get into today's reading for you guys. So what I've done today is we've got coffee cup oracle here, or we've got tea with the tea leaves. So choose whichever deck is kind of calling to you here. And of course, if you really can't decide between the two, watch both. And there's probably something in there for you in both of those readings. So let's get right into it. The tea leaf oracle is right here, and the coffee cup oracle right there as well. We're going to start with let's start with tea, and I will put the timestamps down below. Hello. Let's have a look at your tea leaf reading. We will pull some tarot here as well, but the tea leaf also comes with a couple of extra cards, a month of the year focus card. And we've also got an astral house for you here as well, and see what that is highlighting for you. Some of this might look to the past, it might look to the future, but let's have a look here. We've got September. So September is a wonderful energy. I like September, especially like later September. So there's something about the month of September that is being highlighted for you here now. Now it could be that there could have been a cycle that was started last September. You may have a birthday in September, or an anniversary, a special event. There may be a completion of a cycle for you coming up in this next September. So just a very short month and a half or so away already. So something about September, it may just be that you're feeling some kind of September-y vibes right now as well. There's been a few instances in the last few weeks where I've gotten up in the morning, and even though it's the middle of summer and it's warm and all that, it's just something about my morning has felt like the beginnings of fall. So you may kind of be having these feelings. Something feels like fall for you. Something feels like September, late September, early October, maybe even. And you might not be able to put your finger on it, but the senses are there. So this can be that your intuition is telling you something is happening leading up to that point. So something about September. September is also when the leaves start to fall from the trees. They probably, depending where you are, maybe even start in August. But when the leaves start to fall from the trees, it's symbolic of letting things go. The leaves no longer serve any purpose for that tree, and the tree lets them go. And the tree reminds you of those cycles of life, of embracing, of growing, of blossoming, and then letting things go. And so this can be that symbolic energy for you. Your astral house that we've got here, we've got to focus on happiness. Okay, so anything that is inhibiting your happiness here, anything causing you grief, this is where we are going to turn that frown upside down. This is a perfect time to, kind of really examine things in your life. What makes you happy? Remember, you're responsible for your own happiness, and we do sometimes look externally outside of ourselves for validation, for our happiness. We cling when we become codependent, right? And And so, so with this, it's like, am I turning inward for my happiness, or am I dependent on others? Am I looking externally outside of myself? So it's really, especially with this new moon this week, that's like some deep thoughts, right? But in reality though, right, when we are happy with ourselves, it all starts from within. Our happiness, our self-worth, right? When we have that inside, nothing can take it away. Nobody can take it away, right? Because it's there. Yes, we can have hurts, we can have successes, we can have changes, right? But ultimately, right, we have that core sense of happiness and well-being. So this can really be where you're turning your energy inward this week, right? Am I happy? If I'm not, and be honest and truthful with yourself. The truth, it comes out this week too, right? With Uranus brings the truth. So am I happy? Why am I not happy? Is there something I can do to change my situation so that I am happy? Is there something I need to let go of within myself that is preventing my ultimate happiness and growth? So when you see the word happiness, we've got the sun there. Really just kind of focus on that. What does that mean to me? What is that for me personally? Is there someone that I want to be happy in my life? You can help them on their journey, right? You can nurture them, right? Cancerian energy, nurturing, okay? But you're not responsible for their happiness. They are. And sometimes that's what we need to let go. Especially if you've got like children, sometimes we really, really, really want to jump right in there. You've given them the tools that they need to live their best life. And now it's their responsibility to do the best that they can, right? But you probably never let go of that protective energy. It's natural, okay? But you got to let them walk their path. Let's see what the tea leaves are bringing up. We've got casket. Okay. Someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So you can have something that is coming to a close, but the new moon in Cancer reminds you that there's something blossoming in its place. So what belongs in that casket? What are you burying? What are you grieving? What are you letting go of? Okay, it's people, situation, the end of a cycle, right? All good things must come to an end at some point, right? But there's something better in its place. There's something different in its place. We've got the wheel. Now, the wheel, of course, can get us places easier than walking or, crawling, right? But the wheel goes back and forth as well, right? So this can bring some indecisiveness, and with this particular card, it's like, rambling, rolling aimlessly, maybe going back and forth, a little bit of uncertainty, right? The wheel can make you, roll backwards. It can make you go forwards. And it's interesting that this should come up as well with the Cancerian energy, because Cancer energy is the sign of the crab, right? Crabs don't go forward in a straight line. They go side to side, right? And so where are you going side to side? Where are you going back and forth? Once we figure out our sense of direction, that wheel, boom, that moves us forward in the direction that we choose. We are behind the steering wheel. So wherever you've been a little bit unsure, that fog this week, Uranus sextile Neptune, is going to clear. And we've got the tortoise, slowly but surely getting ahead. Okay, the tortoise. Have you ever heard the story, the old fable, right, of the tortoise and the hare? Right, the tortoise is slow and steady, just boom, 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 just on his little merry way, and the hare, right, the hare, speedy little rabbit, right, gets a little bit full of himself, right? And what does he do? He's like, so sure that he's going to win. That he's going to beat out that tortoise, that he gets lazy, that he has a nap under a tree, and inevitably the tortoise, just one day at a time, one step at a time, overtakes him. So not everything is a race. The tortoise is a reminder to slow down a little bit, Okay. And trust in your journey. Not everything goes fast, but remember, the fast energy doesn't always last, and it doesn't always hit the finish line in the way that we want it to. So even if you feel like something is slow going, okay, it can really work out in your favor, because we pay more attention to the details and we enjoy the ride. All right. There can also potentially be something here that has been slowing you down. Okay. Especially if it's like any kind of back and forth indecision. Okay. And so the tortoise is like, he's looking at that wheel. Actually, he's looking at that. Okay. And he's like, okay, where do you need clarity? Where do you need a sense of purpose? Where do you need a clear sense of direction? Okay. Because that's how we can end up moving forward in the right direction instead of like maybe feeling like we've been pulled back. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, very nurturing energy. Got the King of Pentacles, okay. And we've got the Seven of Wands, beautiful. Be confident in yourself this week here, guys. The Seven of Wands is an energy of strength, of confidence, of feeling like I can climb any mountain. I can do anything that I set my mind to. I can overcome my obstacles. And in actual fact, I can turn my issues and my challenges into something better, right? They can help me move forwards. This beautiful energy. But we do have the King and Queens, or the King and Queen, of Pentacles. Great energy. So this can really be a week where things are coming into alignment for you, the masculine and the feminine coming into alignment for you in the best of ways. This is good health, good wealth, good fortune. This is solid and stable energy, very abundant energy here. So if you're looking for some resources, look and you will find. Okay, you will find what it is that you need. It might not be what you're looking for, but it may be what you need. This can be a week to focus on our relationships in our lives, right? The King and Queen. Who are you connected with? Who are you energetically aligned with, right? Or who do you want to spend some time with? Again, with this new moon in Cancer really being the highlight of the first part of your week, right? This is about nurturing those connections, your family, your home, right? Where you feel stable and secure. And the Queen and King of Pentacles are showing that stability and that security. Some of you could very much have some success this week as well. All right. But look forward into your journey. The Seven of Wands, right? There's been a challenge there with the Seven of Wands, and you can work together with someone, partner up with someone to overcome that. Maybe someone can help you. King and Queen of Pentacles can be one person, or it can be a couple of different people. They might be able to help you to overcome this challenge, to move forward, or there could be something here that you are letting go. And once you let go and you overcome the thing that keeps pulling you backwards, then this is where you move forward in a wonderful way. So chin up here, folks, okay? We are moving forward, but don't be afraid to let things go, just like the leaves on those trees, okay? I'll leave that there for you guys. I do hope there was something here for you. Like, share, and subscribe. It really does help my channel grow. It's free for you, but it's telling you, getting the videos out there is quite challenging over the last couple of years, actually. The first couple of years I was on YouTube, easy peasy. But anyway, so, but I do appreciate that anyways. I don't do it for the views, but it certainly does help, a little bit of validation. Anyways, but I thank you for watching, and we're going to move on now to those that chose the coffee cup. So if you were a little undecided, then come with me to that reading as well. Hello to all of you who chose the Coffee Cup Oracle. This is by Emira Salon. Let's have a look and see what these cards have to say for you guys this week. We will also pull some tarot to go along with them. And yes, the cards are a little bit sticky, and they're also round. It's kind of sometimes a challenge to shuffle the round ones. They want to kind of roll away. All right, let's have a look. One more, please. One more, please. Thank you. All right. So we've got coins. luck and money. Look at that. There's your first energy there. So you could make some wise investments this week. New moon, right? New moon. This, can be an investment that benefits your family finances. This can be an investment opportunity that comes your way. If you're selling a house, right, you may potentially get an offer this week, but you could also potentially be buying something this week as well. But it is all good. Okay, it is all for the betterment of you. But again, you could also have some luck on your side. So a little bit of lucky break there. We also have love and new love with the heart showing up for you. Love or money? Maybe some of you need to make a choice this week. But the heart does indicate love and new love. It can also indicate your heart chakra and your happiness and joy. So talk about a good way to start your reading. Of course, this week, some of the energy does involve love and those we love. And of course, the new moon, love, maybe a little bit of love is in the air for some of you here this week. You could be focusing on your relationships this week. So maybe you and your spouse have been really busy and you haven't had a lot of time to spend with each other. This is a perfect week to slow down and to just spend a little bit of quality time together. If you are single, you could have some luck in the wind this week there as well. Right place at the right time. Maybe something happens out of the blue. Of course, we are in Mercury retrograde still, right? And sometimes we can get second chances in a Mercury retrograde. Sometimes people come back, and it's, doesn't have to be people we don't want. It can be people that are a welcome surprise. So, a retrograde can bring about second chances. And so maybe there's a second chance. The universe has something very wonderful in store for you. So open your heart to love, whether it's love of others, new love, potentially knock down those walls. Okay. But above all else, self-love. Do something nice for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Give yourself a little bit of a treat or a little bit of a break. Remember that new moon in Cancer. Cancerian energy is nurturing, right? And we do look externally and we do like, okay, how can I nurture my relationships, my children, my spouse, my friends, right? But what about you? Okay, nurture yourself as well. We also have here wonderful energy. We've got crown energy here, success and pride, be confident. So yeah, some of you've got something brewing here this week, whether it's a new opportunity or whether it is something that is finally shifting for you. Especially if you've been feeling stuck, right? Because again, remember, we've got some healing energy coming in this week, but when Uranus is at play, and we've got Uranus here this week, Uranus with Neptune can be about your dreams coming true, but in unexpected ways. Okay, Uranus is always unexpected, and quite often does bring those shocks and surprises our way. And we've got the Page of Cups here at the back of the deck. I love that. The Page of Cups can be certainly about a little bit of a spiritual awakening. I'll put him over here where you can see him, or her, I should say. Can be about a little bit of a spiritual awakening, opening your heart, having fun, laughter, joy, living your best life, all this wonderful stuff. The Page of Cups can bring a surprise. Okay, so a surprise gesture, a surprise encounter, a surprise meeting. It can be that you surprise yourself, perhaps here in this energy as well. I will say that with the Page of Cups showing up, she can be very creative, very fun-loving, a little bit head in the clouds, but that's okay. But it is one of the pregnancy cards with the moon in Cancer. The moon in Cancer, we've got Uranus there as well. There could be something surprising with one of your children if you have them, or there could be a discovery or an announcement of a pregnancy of some kind. Okay, but it can be very, in essence, just a very innocent, a very fun, loving energy here with that Page of Cups. Pages can bring news. They can also bring new things, new ideas, a fresh perspective on things. And the Page of Cups, yes, a little bit head in the clouds, but sometimes we just need to be that way, right? So it can be a really positive energy there. We've got the Devil. Oh dear. Okay, someone harshed our buzz there. We've got the Page of Wands. And we've got the Seven of Cups. There's our Neptunian energy there showing up for us. Okay, so the Devil. Boundaries and perspective always necessary, okay, with the Devil card. Now, the Devil card doesn't necessarily have to be a bad energy. Okay, it definitely is one that requires caution. All right. The Devil card keeps us trapped, stuck under someone else's control or something else's control. So this can be a week where you maybe take your power back. Okay, and you need to look and be really honest and truthful with yourself. Okay, Uranus with Neptune, the truth is revealed. Okay, something that has been operating behind a fog or behind a veil is revealed this week. Okay, the clouds come off, the fog is lifted. Okay, and the truth is right there, shining bright. So this can be really a heralding of some personal growth here. Okay. Where have you been giving your power away, or what in your life or what of yourself is under the control of something else? Now, this can be some obsessive energy, right? And we do have coins there coming out. So the Devil card can be a very materialistic card. So have you been really focusing on the material world? Maybe not so much on yourself or on your spiritual world. And what happens? This causes imbalance, right? This causes a disruption in the flow of energy because it's all kind of one-sided. Now, sometimes, of course, we are humans and we live in a material world, and so we do sometimes have a very strict and very almost obsessive, singular focus on the material things. Money, right, is a big one, right? Because someone is pulling the strings there, someone is doing the dirty work. And, it has effect on our money, right? So if we do look at things like, let's be real, right? Things like gas prices. Holy moly, okay? Come on, people. What the hell are you doing? Who the hell is running the globe, right? The old dinosaurs on their way out, grasping at every little straw and not doing a very good job either. So they are losing their power and control, but this is having a negative effect on us and our money and our finances and the cost of groceries and all of this kind of stuff, right? So, so sometimes we are very focused on that. Now, you could get a lucky break with that this week. We do have luck and money coming in here, which is a good thing. If you've been focused on things like in your workplace, maybe you've been focused on getting a higher paying job, lowering your bills, getting a promotion, right? That kind of thing. You might have something that pops up. It might not necessarily be early this week, but it could be something where that door is opening for you, and it might be quite unexpected, but very welcome. Okay, but the Devil does require caution in everything that we do. Okay, so, really look at the truth. Look at what's going on, right? Are you giving your power away? What has you under its thumb? The Devil can represent negative people, negative situations, a challenge that we need to deal with this week, which is good because you're wearing that crown. Okay, you can overcome, right? All this energy of success and love and all this kind of stuff. The Devil, sometimes we are wrapped up in our own fear. We can be our own worst enemy. It doesn't have to be anything external. The Devil does represent our shadow selves, our shadow side, right? And, this can be our fears, our worries, our doubts, our bad habits, okay? The things that, maybe feel good, but ultimately have a negative impact when they gain control over us. So think of things like, very simply, think of things like food, right? We need food as humans, right? We need food to live, to nourish our bodies, to survive, right? And now food can be very tempting, very enticing, because it tastes good, right? And, so sometimes maybe we tend to eat a little bit of the wrong things, or we go a little bit overboard, right? Because everything in moderation, right? And we don't always adhere to that, especially it's like, oh my God, this is so good. I need a second portion, right? So with that devil card, it can be our bad habits, right? Those things that can turn negative quite quickly. So we need to rein them in a little bit. So this might be a week where you're trying to turn over the leaf and you're trying to make some better habits, better patterns, better behaviors, okay? But I will say that the devil card can be where we are trapped and stuck, okay? Or where, again, our fears lie. And now we do have the Page of Wands coming in and the Page of Cups here as well. The Page of Wands is landing underneath the heart energy. So this can be a little bit of a warning to those of you who either are looking for love, but maybe aren't necessarily focused on it, or maybe have given up on love, or where we have a significant other as well. The devil card, right, is landing under the coin, so our material world here. And so there could be a little detachment from our heart space here because we've got our focus somewhere else. And so if you are that single person, Page of Wands landing underneath the heart, right, it can be a really interesting, really wonderful, and potentially viable connection, okay? But the devil card there, right, we've got something closed off, okay? So it can be our fear closing off our heart. And so, you may feel a little bit of a shift this week, or turn inward and, say, what is my blocks to love? Well, good Lord, it's me, right? And so you can be really honest with yourself there. I would say, when we've got the Page of Wands, Page of Cups is underneath the deck, okay, and the devil card there. Now, all of these cards from the coffee cup that came up, the oracle cards, they are all supremely positive, okay? However, I will address, we've got two pages, so two potentially new people, new connections, okay? One is a false flag, all right? Because we do have that devil card. Choose wisely, okay? If your intuition is saying no, then that's not for you, okay? Because you've got the Page of Cups hiding at the back of the deck, all right? So just choose wisely. It doesn't necessarily mean that someone's going to come in and ruin your life, all right? But choose what is right for you. Sometimes sometimes I am a single person myself, okay, have been for quite a few years now. I'm very happy with that. But I have been in those situations where I've been single, I've been longing for love, almost, kind of desperate for that, right? Because, pressure from external sources and all that kind of crap. And, it's like someone walks in and I ignore the red flags, right? I see them, ignore them. It's like, I don't know, there's something not quite right, but maybe that's me because I've been single for so long. Okay. So pay attention to those red flags. It's not just because you've been single so long. It could be your fears coming to the surface, but the only one that knows what that right path is, what that right choice is you. Okay. And don't be afraid to say no if something doesn't feel right. Okay. Right. The universe will sometimes send us, people or situations to test us because the devil can be karma. All right, and it can be your opportunity here to potentially close out some karmic cycle, right? And so we do need to say no, perhaps, okay? But just be a little bit aware that for your reading, the devil card did come out, okay? Boundaries, perspective, looking at the truth, and maybe even looking fear in the eye and paying attention to those red flags. But we do have the Seven of Cups, and there could be different options, different choices for us all to make this week. All right. The Seven of Cups can be really wonderful. It's like I'm imagining things, I'm dreaming about things. Okay. But what happens is we tend to be in a little bit of a utopia. Okay. Or we tend to sometimes be a little bit unsure of things, right? That's where our fear comes up with that devil energy, right? Our fear comes up. I have a choice to make. All right. I'm trying to choose wisely, whether it's something new or something that I need to let go of. Right. And that Seven of Cups, it's like we end up in a little bit of a brain fog sometimes because we're afraid of making the wrong choice, of making the wrong move, of making the wrong decision. What if? Okay. And so we need to instead trust ourselves, trust our intuition, trust our heart, okay, to make the right choice for ourselves. We can only make the choices today based on the knowledge, the experience, the feelings, the intuition that we have today, okay, and make the best choice. We can always let go of something later. We can always course correct if we need to. But if we don't make a choice, then we'll forever live trapped in this double energy. We'll forever live trapped and chained and bound, right? Because we are very much allowing fear to take over our lives. Okay, so we got to let go of that a little bit. Fortunately, Neptune is retrograde, and with Uranus there, we get the truth, we make decisions, we let things go. We're shedding a skin perhaps there, and it's all about propelling us to the future. But it'll happen for everyone in just a little bit of a different way. But no matter what your situation is, remember to trust yourself to make the best decisions for you. I will leave that there for you guys. I do thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Don't forget to watch that new moon video that I've got. I will link it down below. But all blessings to you guys. Like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed your reading. And I'll see you guys later.